What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Batman Superman World's Finest, issue number 25. This one is written by Mark Waid, and Dan Mora is on the backup, and then Stephen Pugh, I think, is the artist on the... Steve Pugh is the artist on the main storyline. So, issue 25, it's an oversized special issue. There was also a variant cover with William Shatner on there for whatever reason, because, I mean... why not? I mean, he is William Shatner. I have met the guy. He's pretty funny in person. But anyways, it has nothing to tie into the story, just a random variant cover. But anyway, so this issue is more of a one-shot with the backup kind of tying into a storyline that was in the... what's the word I'm looking for? The anthology? No, not the anthology. The... Annual, my goodness, I was having a brain fart there for a second, but the annual storyline with the various fifth dimensional imps being hunted down, if you will, and we'll see where that kind of goes within the backup. But the main storyline is just a simple team up between Lex Luthor and the Joker. I quite enjoyed this one. This felt like a nice throwback classic era storyline. It's a simple one-shot, nothing else. You get to see the Joker and Lex Luthor's supposedly first meet up with each other. No lingering plot threads or anything like that. It is a simple, concise story. It tells you everything you need to know about like each character, why they are kind of the way they are towards Batman and Superman. But it is a fun little storyline. So the issue opens up with Batman and Superman basically taking the Joker in, and one of the doctors is there in the cell with Joker, who takes off his mask and reveals himself to be Lex Luthor. I am in need of your services. Come with me if you want to kill. So it feels kind of like a callback to the Terminator. But basically, there is this map to this hidden artifact, like known as the Heart of Eternium, and it's written so crazily insane that Lex Luthor needs somebody like insane, because only an insane man could really understand what's going on here. So he basically, like I said, has to take him under his wing, has Joker lead into this treasure, and he's going to give him some sort of cut of it all, if you will. There's some funny bits right there for sure. Joker, of course, being very spontaneous, like goes into the bathroom at a point, tries to shave his head so he could look like Lex Luthor. He's like, all right, now we're ready to go. And then Lex Luthor's like, absolutely not. Give this man a toupee, meet me downstairs. And of course, like I said, eventually they go on their little quest. All things like in terms of reality and that are all over the place. This actually ties into like the Rock of Eternity and Shazam. I wasn't really expecting something like that. But like I said, you have the 7 deadly sins and all that, very magical realms. Like they go to different doors that lead into different eras of time. And we get a little Jonah Hex cameo, which I did enjoy that little aspect. Eventually, they find what they're looking for, the Heart of Eternium, which will kind of is like a magic wishing type like thing, which will give you like the reality you're kind of looking for. Like I said, Lex manages to grab it, then the Joker like attacks him, and then he has control of it. So Lex Luthor kind of has to stop him, and kind of his last wish, he wishes for the Joker to go back. And then like at the end of the issue is like, if only you all knew like how much of a hero I truly am for stopping the Joker from enacting his plans. Like, I mean, Lex Luthor is the one who caused this whole thing, and he's the one like, man, look at how great I am for saving the world for a problem he caused. I don't know, like his narcissistic point of view of like how he views himself is pretty great. And like I said, the dynamic between the two of them, Luthor just has had enough of the Joker by the time this thing wraps itself up. And like reading this and seeing a book titled Batman Superman World's Finest, like when I think World's Finest, the first thing that comes to mind is the Superman the Animated Series crossover, whereas Batman the Animated Series and Superman the Animated Series come together for one thing for the first time ever. And there was something really kind of special about kind of getting Joker and Lex in this thing. They're two like greatest adversaries of Batman and Superman, if you, or at least the most iconic. Because like in terms of a threat level, I feel like there's other villains that are more threatening, obviously. But in terms of like the two most iconic adversaries, if you will, it's Lex Luthor and the Joker in terms of Batman and Superman. So it brought me back to that like animated series crossover, if you will, like, or the Batman Superman movie, if you will. It's like I said, it brought me back to that. And like I said, it was a fun little one shot, and it did its job. And I mean, if you wanted more Batman and Superman, you're not going to really get that in the main prologue or the main storyline. They're very briefly there at the beginning, and then it just becomes a Lex and Joker thing, which I'm okay with. This is a simple one shot, felt like a nice throwback issue that could like exist in an older era of comic books, and I think it worked well. Then in Impossible Prologue, this one's written by Mark Waid and art by Dan Mora. that's the storyline that's kind of like was teased in the annual, if you will. Basically, all sorts of bits of reality start getting affected in the Batcave. Like Abraham Lincoln, the Penny turns into Abe Lincoln, and he starts fighting the T-Rex, and all these crazy magical stuff starts coming on. Stuff goes wrong at the Fortress of Solitude, and obviously it's Bat-Mite, the fifth dimensional imps, and all that. And the ending of the issue is Mr. Mixie's Pitalik there with another member of the fifth dimensional imps is like, hey, this happened to him. He's kind of dead, and I'm going to need your help with something. So, to be continued. Who is that threat? What does it all mean? I don't 100% know, but I am excited to find out. And with that said, that's going to wrap it up in terms of the DC comic book reviews for this week. Again, sorry I'm a few days later on this thing. I want to get at least 2 of them out, and then I just kept dragging my feet to kind of get the rest of the stuff out. But like I said, I thought this issue in particular was a very strong one to kind of close the week out on. Usually when I do these things, I always try to save World's Finest for last because I like to go out on a high note because there aren't really any bad issues of World's Finest. I think in terms of ongoing, it's the most consistently good at DC. Obviously, my favorite going on right now is Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. Kong, but that's kind of a special 7-issue mini series, if you will. This thing is still ongoing. We're 25, well, technically 26 if you count the annual issues into this thing, and there hasn't been a single bad issue. He's been having some great looking artwork, and like I said, this one is a nice little standalone issue with the backup, if you will, setting the stage for the next arc, if you will. So I quite liked it. It was fun seeing Lex and Joker just not having to confine to some crazy crossover or anything like that. Just a simple story of them together, and Lex Luthor being utterly annoyed, telling you enough about who each character is and kind of why they do the things they do, or what makes them, if you will. I think it worked out quite well. But anyways, I want to know your thoughts. What did you think of Batman Superman World's Finest issue number 25? Post your comments down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit that bell for notifications, all their fun stuff. I'll be back again tomorrow with another edition of After the Movie. It's going to be another one of those mystery movies, so it's going to be some sort of horror film. I don't know what it'll be. It may even be that second Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie or something like that, but only time will tell. And then later on, we'll still get to the comic book reviews on Tuesday, and then later on in the week, we'll get Justice League, not Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla, Kong, the New Empire. So I'm looking forward to all that stuff. But anyways, that's all I have to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.